There is a unanimous agreement not to allow the virtual presence of Congressman Teves.
Congressman Teves' whereabouts. Do we know where he is?
Tumawag sa akin si Congressman Teves kahapon. Sabi ko, bakit hindi ka mag-attend? Ang rason niya is he's under threat. At sigurado siyang papatayin daw talaga siya.
Talagang wala naman siyang kasalanan. Anong dapat ikatakot niya? Kung talagang wala siyang kasalanan, umuwi siya. Harapin niya to.
Walang babaril sa kanya.
Ako mismo magbabantay, sir. I assure you 100%.
So kung mamatay siya, ikaw mananakot.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. Usapang lalaki yan. Ha? Kung
Yes,
nakikinig ka ngayon sa Congressman Teves,
Thanks.
pareho kaming lalaki. Kung lalaki ka, lalaki rin kaming kausap. Hindi ka mamamatay kapag uuwi ka dito sa Pilipinas.
Will we allow now Congressman Teves to be virtually sworn and participate in this committee hearing, knowing fully well that there are objections, knowing fully well that we have an existing rule coming from the Commission on Appointments. Commission on Appointments is a combined House and Senate contingent group, Mr. President, and it has a persuasive effect. I reiterate and I underscore that, Mr. President. Bawal po pag wala sa embassy o sa konsulada ang isang wala dito sa committee hearing. I seek a ruling from the committee chair.
Mr. Chairman, before the ruling, if I may, prejudicial to the
Yeah,
statement of our dear
go ahead,
colleague, which I don't disagree, Mr. President.
You're
Mr.
the leader.
Chairman. Yeah, I would just like to point out, if we have the information now that Congressman Teves' whereabouts, do we know where he is? Is he in the vicinity of our embassy right now? If he is indeed appearing to this committee.
For the record, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Majority Leader, only Congressman Teves knows where he is right now.
So that's a valid point then, Mr. Chairman. And so I submit to the inquiry and motion, perhaps, of our dear colleague, Senator Francis Tolentino. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
The committee sent an invitation to Congressman Arnie Teves to attend our proceeding today. He accepted our invitation with a condition that he be allowed to attend virtually. This committee is a collective body composed of its members, including ex officio members. And for that matter, we have here the highest official of the Senate today, our Majority Leader, Senator Joel Villanueva, who participated in our earlier deliberations inside the lounge. There is a unanimous agreement not to allow the virtual presence of Congressman Teves for the following reasons. Number one, there may be legal issues that will arise as to the taking of oath as a basic requirement in taking testimonies of any resource person or witness. The whereabouts of Congressman Teves is not known or definite, thus jurisdiction as to his oath will be taken may be questioned legally. In relation to this, the committee should have jurisdiction over his person in instances where the committee will cite him in contempt or issue a subpoena juris tecum. Absent that, the committee cannot implement such order or decision. The issue of observance of interparliamentary courtesy was also mentioned by the members of this committee. Again, the members of this committee unanimously agree not to allow the virtual presence of Congressman Teves. But the doors are not completely shut down to Congressman Teves. If he wants to come here physically, then by all means, we will entertain. Lahat na gusto niya sasabihin, pakikinggan po natin. In the spirit of fairness, This committee would not like to be misconstrued as a one-sided committee. We want to open up all legal avenues para mapakinggan ang both sides. But physically, yan lang ang pag-iusap namin. Diyan kasi nga, cited kapag maging unruly or magiging deceitful yung ating witness, when we are going to cite him for contempt, we don't have jurisdiction over his physical body. So, the decision is very clear.
Wini-welcome ko po at nagpapasalamat ako sa ruling ng chair dun sa inquiry kanina ni Sen. Francis, in which I share na yung ruling po ng chair na i-require ng komite si Rep. Teves to physically be with us to answer our questions. Idagdag ko lang po, Chair, na if ever the committee and the chair would allow him to testify virtually, at the very, very least, kailangan sa isang consulate, isang embahada ng ating republika where an embassy official should administer the oath. Pero just for the record, Mr. Chair, pwede po bang matanong bakit nag-decline si Rep. Teves mag-attend ng hearing ng Honorable Committee in person? For the record, Mr. Chair.
Well, for the record, for transparency purposes, tumawag sa akin si Congressman Teves kahapon. At sabi ko, bakit hindi ka mag-attend physically? Ang rason niya is he's under threat. At sigurado siyang papatayin daw talaga siya pag andito siya. Sabi ko, ako mismo mag-bodyguard sa iyo dito sa Senado, safe ka. But sabi niya, diyan sa Senado, pwede ako safe, pero paglabas ko, baka mamamatay ako. So with that, I respect his decision. And afterwards, sige siya tawag sa cellphone ko, but hindi ko na sinagot. That's for transparency for the record, Your Honor.
Salamat kayo, Mr. Chair. And I stand with the chair and the whole committee in requiring Rep. Teves to appear physically before our committee. Salamat
Mr.
kayo,
Chairman,
Chair.
Thank you.
just for the record also, did he mention where he is?
Ha?
Did he mention where he
Tinanong
is?
ko.
Mr. Chair?
Tinanong ko, saan ka
Yes.
ngayon? Hindi ako magsabi. Baka mamaya, alam ko na. Alam na niya na hindi siya magsabi kung saan siya.
Oh, so you asked, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, I
but
asked
he
him.
did not.
Saan ka ba? Nasa Pilipinas ka o nasa abroad? Sabi, hindi siya magsabi.
Thank you.
But
Thank you,
anyway.
Mr. Chairman.
Then he will manifest his intention to go to our embassy in Thailand to take part in these proceedings. So, what will be the pleasure of this committee?
As a Filipino, he can go to the embassy, and he can and the committee will be constrained to follow the rules I mentioned a while ago, as well as the guidelines, which has a persuasive effect, likewise coming from the Supreme Court, that there can be an electronic examination of evidence, and witnesses can be heard virtually inside the premises of a Philippine embassy or consulate. Kailangan po nasa loob siya ng embahada.
Okay, what if, I know you're an expert in international law. This chairman is not a lawyer, so I am seeking your advice. What if, during the course of his statements, and he will become evasive, and he will not, is not telling the truth. It's very obvious that he's lying, and a member of this committee would move to cite him in contempt, and I will rule for him to be cited in contempt. How are we going to do that? Can we send the PNP to arrest him inside our embassy?
I believe, Your Honor, that we can ask there is a Philippine police officer inside, even a military attaché. There is a police attaché inside an embassy, and that covers the area wherever he is. So we can ask the Secretary of the DILG to make proper instructions to the Filipino police officer inside the premises of the embassy to execute your contempt order, Your Honor.
Thank you for that advice.
Mr. Chair.
So, can I ask any legal opinion from DOJ? Secretary Rimulya, pertaining to that?
Your Honors, if the inquiry is about the appearance of Congressman Teves before this body, well, the first question that comes to mind is how do you cite him in contempt if he is not within the country or within our territory?
Precisely. But if he is inside our embassy, whether it is in another country, he is still under our jurisdiction.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
So,
Well, if he is inside the area of within Philippine jurisdiction, the appearance may be allowed, subject to the rules of the Senate, Your Honor.
okay. Thank you for that.
I think, Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes, go ahead,
I think it's very
Majority
clear
Leader.
now, Mr. Chairman. I think it's very clear that your decision as chair of this committee is sound. You were able to get the overwhelming consensus of the members, and we are in full support of your decision as chair of this committee, not to allow anyone who would participate in this committee hearing without our jurisdiction, Mr. Chairman. And that's crystal clear. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, because my original intention as a chairman of this committee is to get hold of him physically here inside the Senate, not outside, whether or not we consider our embassy as an extension of our territory, and it is within the Philippine jurisdiction, but still, I want him to be physically present here inside this. Inside the
Mr.
Senate.
Chairman.
That's my original intention.
Yes, my
Go
observation,
ahead,
Mr.
Senator.
Chairman, kung talagang wala naman siyang kasalanan, anong dapat ikatakot niya? Para wala tayong pinoproblema dito. Umuwi na lang siya dito. Di ba? Kung talagang wala siyang kasalanan, umuwi siya. Harapin niya to.
Thank you, Senator
Well,
Bugrimilla. For the record, we would like to hear from Secretary Rimulya. Meron bang standing warrant of arrest si Senator
Wala pa po.
Congressman Teves?
He has subpoenas issued to his name. But,
Even sa ibang kaso, not
wala pa ho,
Digamo
wala pa
case.
ho. Wala pa ho siyang
So, wala
standing
talaga?
warrant of arrest. Wala pa ho.
So, Congressman Teves, if you are now monitoring, wala kang warrant pala. We have no reason for you to be arrested when you come home or when you surface. Hindi ka pwedeng arestuhin, wala ka pang warrant. So, pwede ka pumunta dito. Hintayin ka namin hanggang gabi. Bumiyahe ka. Maghintay kami sa'yo dito sa loob ng Senado.
Mr. Chair.
How about Secretary of Interior and Local Government? Can you give us an assurance na hindi mamatay si Congressman Teves pag pumunta siya dito?
Yes, sir.
Papunta at palabas.
Yes, sir.
Walang babaril sa kanya.
Ako mismo magbabantay, sir. I assure you 100%.
So kung mamatay siya, ikaw mananakot.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. Usapang lalaki yan. Ha? Kung nakikinig ka ngayon sa Congressman Teves,
Thanks.
pareho kami lalaki. Kung lalaki ka, lalaki rin kami kausap. Hindi ka mamamatay kapag uuwi ka dito sa Pilipinas o kaya kung nasa loob ka ng Philippine territory, kung mag-surface ka, pumunta ka dito, punta ka lang sa police station. Pa-escortan ka ng Secretary Abalos ng police para pumunta dito at kahit isang gasgas ng katawan, wala kang aabuting gasgas.
Yeah,
Majority
Mr. Chair,
Leader, you want to
Mr.
say
Chairman,
something?
I was having I'm having double thoughts on whether or not I will share this point of information that this representation received about 2 days ago, 2 days and 3 days ago, for 2 consecutive days. Some friends of mine have seen him in South Korea in Lotte Hotel eating in a buffet, and I asked if they are very sure that if it is Congressman Teves indeed that they have seen, and according to them, and I spoke to 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 persons with 2 eyes. You're talking about 8 eyes, Mr. Chairman, na nagsabing nandun po siya at kumakain. Hindi ko lang po alam, Mr. Chairman, kung ito ay sigurado na siya nga ho yun, no? But apat ho yung nakausap natin na nagsabing nandun po siya sa Lotte Hotel sa South Korea. So, I don't know kung alam po ng ating mga authorities. So, I just want to share that information that was given to me personally, Mr. Chairman. And I spoke to one of the guys kanina, and you were there, Mr. Chairman, to witness. And they were